Big League Baseball, more interleague baseball, in fact, between the Kansas City Royals and the Atlanta Braves, as the Braves welcome back an old friend, Ned Yost, who brings the Royals to town. Good evening, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. This is Joe Simpson. And in these last two games, as the Braves took 2 out of 3 from the Tampa Bay Rays, the centerpiece of each game, solid starting pitching.
And that was the centerpiece of what Bobby Cox said was going to be the strength of the team this year, too, Ernie, was his starting staff. And, boy, they are really stepping up. A couple of nights ago against that good-hitting Tampa Bay team, Tommy Hanson, 7 innings of shutout ball. It was followed up then by Tim Hudson last night. He worked 7 innings, only gave up 1 run. They combined for 11 strikeouts over the 2 nights, too. They were dealing. Tonight it's Derek Lowe's turn, and if these guys are going to feed off one another, those 2 guys the last 2 nights are good to feed off of. But Derek Lowe was mighty good himself, as you see there in Minneapolis, as he worked into the 8th inning, even though he got a no decision. And his numbers here at Turner Field, much better than on the road. So the Kansas City Royals are going to have their hands full with another good starting pitcher for the Atlanta Braves tonight.
The Royals hitting .279 as a team. That is number 1 in all of Major League Baseball. We'll be back and get you started. Royals and Braves here on Peachtree TV right after this. Wind out there, and the forecast partly cloudy. Looks beautiful right now as we get ready for the first pitch of Game 1 of this series. Let's take a look at the batting order, brought to you by Stone Mountain Park and Evergreen Marriott Resort. For great getaway packages, visit stonemountainpark.com. And here is the lineup that Ned Yost sends out. Scott Posednik leading it off. Jason Kendall, the veteran catcher, hits second. Look at David DeJesus, been on fire lately in the last 5 games. Billy Butler hits cleanup. Then it's Jose Guillen who leads the team in home runs and runs batted in. Alberto Callaspo plays third base. Mike Aviles at second. Yunieski Betancourt hits 8th at short. And Brian Bannister on the mound to face Derek Lowe.
And Derek Lowe, 37 years old, 6'6", 230, out of Dearborn, Michigan, makes his 15th start of the year, 8-5 his record.
And he starts Posednik off with a strike. We are underway on a Friday night at Turner Field. Low quickly to Posednik. Lazy fly ball to center. Easy play for Cabrera, 1 down.
As Ernie told you, this Royals team, high average team. They're middle of the pack in runs, scored 10th in homers. They don't walk a lot, but they likewise don't strike out a lot. Here's the defense behind Lowe tonight. Hinsky, Cabrera, and Hayward from left to right. Chipper's back in the lineup. He's playing third base tonight. Escobar at short, Prado and Gloss on the right side, Brian McCann doing the catching.
Here's Jason Kendall, a three-time National League All-Star. Been around a while, had several great years with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Also to Oakland and the Cubs and Milwaukee. So he played for Ned Yost in Milwaukee, reunited here with Kansas City.
He and Pusetnik both were Brewers under Ned Yost there.
The 1-1. Got the corner. Ball and 2 strikes.
First innings have been a problem for Derek at times. Then he seems to settle in a little bit in the second. Then it's not till about the 4th or 5th inning that sometimes he runs into some more issues.
To third. Chipper. Good loss, 2 down.
One of the things we saw last night, especially from Tim Hudson, we talked about the good work by both Hansen and Hudson, but Tim got the ground balls working again last night. Derek Lowe is a similar type pitcher, and we'll keep an eye out to see how many ground balls he gets going here at the beginning of the game to see if he's on tonight.
The Royals have 2 hitters in the top 10 in the American League. DeJesus, number 9, hitting .324, and the guy who's in the on-deck circle, Billy Butler, hitting .339, is number 3 in the American. Derek Lowe into the line, the 1-0. Little inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Since Ned Yost took over this ball club, Kansas City with a winning record at 17-15. They've won 2 straight series. That includes a win over Cincinnati at Cincinnati. And they won 3 of their last 4 series. So they're playing a lot better ball since he took over as manager.
Fly ball right. Jason Hayward. 3 up, 3 down. We're underway here at Turner Field. Thanks for being with us on Peachtree TV. Bottom half of the first inning here in Atlanta. And here's the way the Braves line up tonight. Martin Prado, number 2 in the National League and hitting at .337. Then Jason Hayward went deep last night. Chipper Jones, Brian McCann, Troy Gloss. Last 4 games hitting .400. Then it's Eric Hinsky playing left. Yunel Escobar at short. Melky Cabrera in center. And Derek Lowe doing the pitching.
And doing the pitching for the Royals will be 29-year-old Brian Bannister, 6'1". 215 out of Scottsdale, Arizona. He's the son of a former Major League pitcher, Floyd Bannister. He's a fly ball pitcher. Fastballs, mostly cutters with a curveball. He had a 5-game winning streak working until his last start. He got pounded by the Reds.
And he starts Prado off with a strike. 1-1. You mentioned that 5-game winning streak, and then that It was last Saturday at Cincinnati, 11 runs, 9 of those earned on 10 hits in 3 innings of work.
3 homers, too. Those fly balls, the fly ball pitcher doesn't work that well at Great American Ballpark, unfortunately. Former Met.
Same old story. Martin Prado, base hit. And he's going to try to stretch it into 2. Great start for the Braves.
David DeJesus, a very good center fielder. There's one of those high fastballs above the belt that was hit hard. But you can see DeJesus was over in right center. So he had a long way to go to get this ball, and Martin recognized that right away. Good hustle on his part.
Here's Jason Hayward. Bannister, the thinking man's pitcher, thinks his way through these games. Not overpowering by any means. He'll go 90-91. Ball and a strike to Jason Hayward. Hit his 11th home run, has knocked in 44 runs now after that shot last night.
Brian Bannister's numbers on the road not near as good as they are at home. In fact, his last 3 years, 10 games under 500 with a high ERA. This year, 1-3. And his ERA skewed a little bit because of all those runs he gave up in Cincinnati. It's over 8 for this season on the road.
Takes outside, 2 balls and a strike. You know, we've talked about the campaign for Martin Prado as a National League All-Star, number 2 behind Chase Utley right now. Got some national pub today. He was on XM Radio on the home plate show. In fact, on Ripken Baseball, talking to Cal, who was in his corner. That just missed. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That's nice to hear that a Hall of Famer's in your corner no matter what you're talking about.
And you could tell just by listening on the air, it was a thrill for Martin to be talking to him. Closed out the interview that way. You're always one of my favorites. Hayward goes down swinging. 1 down.
Here's the defense for the Royals tonight. They are number 11 in the American League, having made 46 errors. Pasednik, DeJesus, and Guillen, the 2 guys in left and center, can really run and go get them. Callasco, Betancourt, Aviles, and Butler from third to first. Jason Kendall, the veteran catcher.
And Joe, we've talked about the fact that the Royals lead baseball in hitting at .279, but 13 out of 14 in team ERA in the American League at 4.82.
As we know, pitching and defense are what win plaques up on the Stadium Club wall.
Here's Chipper. Rip. Fouled it straight back, 0-1. Bannister has faced the Braves as a member of the Mets.
I think that was here at Turner Field too, wasn't it? Just an inning of work.
Maybe. On Chip.
Maybe a couple. Has a winning record in interleague play, 7-6 in interleague action.
In tight. 2-1. Brian McCann on deck. We're in the bottom half of the first inning, the opener of a weekend series between the Braves and the Royals on what is an ideal night here in Atlanta. Now 3 balls and a strike. Dangerous territory against a hitter like Chipper.
World Series against the Rays, went 3 for 8. Like you just said, that with a homer and hit the ball hard, that was the key.
Nice play at first by Billy Butler. Throws over. 1 down, or 2 down. Runner advances to third, but a nice play by big Billy Butler over there at first.
The unfortunate thing is that would have been an RBI for Chipper had the runner been moved to third, but Prado was still at second, so now he's at third with 2 out. He doesn't have a lot of range over there, but showed you he can glove what he gets to.
Brian McCann bats with 2 down. Popped him up. Callaspo in foul ground. Makes the play. 1 inning down. We're scoreless. Going to the second.
And if we pick it, we'll answer it later in the game. Send your email to braves@peachtreetv.com and please tell us your name. More saving, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Top half of the second inning. And Billy Butler, who made that nice play at first in the bottom half, leads it off. Third in the American League in hitting at .339. And he's 12 out of his last 25. Takes low and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
He's a great big guy, strong guy, 6'1", 240. One of several former first-round draft picks on this club for the Royals.
He made a pretty elite list last year when he had 51 doubles and 21 home runs, that 50-20 club, which includes before the age of 24, which includes Hank Greenberg, Alex Rodriguez, Albert Pujols, and Miguel Cabrera.
Pretty good company. And he hit .301.
He's ahead 3-1. And draws a walk from Derek Lowe, first base runner for the Royals.
Derek walked 3 in that start against Minnesota, but 2 of them were intentional passes. So hopefully he can keep that total down tonight to just the 1 he gave up.
Jose Guillen's riding a 12-game hitting streak. Formerly the Royals' designated hitter, but playing by National League rules. He makes his 7th start in right field tonight. Fly ball left. Hinsky right there, 1 down.
Be a good night to do the broadcast from the Chop House by the looks of things.
Alberto Callaspo, the Kansas City third baseman, stands in with a runner at first and 1 down. You mentioned Ned Yost and the improved play of this team, 17 and 15, and had a conversation with him today as he was preparing for game 1 of this, and he said the biggest thing he had to do was change the demeanor in the clubhouse, make it a looser place. Said he had to delegate more responsibility to coaches, let them do their thing. As Callaspo flies to right, Hayward broke back and then in, 2 down.
Well, you can understand that, Ernie. I mean, when you haven't been to the postseason since 1985 when they won the World Championship, goodness, that's a long time of problems and losing, too, in recent years, and you got to change that mindset, and that's hard to do.
That team, his team, the Royals, 7 and 4 in the division since he took over. And that's where a lot of that confidence starts. And he looks at his farm system, too. They've got 9, 10 All-Stars in Double-A right now. So they're making progress. Right back to Derek Lowe. Mike Aviles retired. We played 1.5. Still no score.
Early education, and tonight's subject, Major League Baseball RBI leaders. A couple of guys in the American League at the top of the list, Miguel Cabrera and Vladimir Guerrero with 59 and 55. But how about Troy Gloss, third, tied with David Wright of the Mets. Troy got some hardware before the game, got his plaque for the May Player of the Month in the National League, as did Jason Hayward, who got his plaque for Rookie of the Month for the month of May. Very nice.
So Troy facing Brian Bannister and takes inside 1-0. Bannister likes to work quickly. quickly falls behind 2-0.
Motion's pretty fast, too. Once he goes into that leg kick, it's coming to the plate.
Three balls, no strikes. Troy delivered last night. Shot to right field and just did elude Ben Zobrist. Scored a couple of runs as the Braves took 2 out of 3 from Tampa Bay. Fly ball right center field. Pretty well hit. Guillen checks it down, 1 down.
Yeah, Troy Gloss doesn't have to square one up to hit it a long way. That sounded like it's off the end of the bat. He still hit it to the warning track in deep right center.
And so here's Eric Hinsky.
Look, kid.
Started the last couple in left field for the Braves. Slapped into left field, base hit. Took that right where it was pitched, and he's on with 1 out.
Well, there's 3 solid people standing over there by first base. Glenn Hubbard, Billy Butler, and Eric Hinsky.
Can you say center of gravity?
Wow.
Escobar takes a strike, 0-1. He had 14 home runs last year, looking for his first of 2010.
Boy. Come on, let's go.
These last 3 weeks have been very good. 4 for 11 in that series against Tampa. There's the hook. Not sure why he doesn't throw it more. Got a good one. Braves have gone 30-14 since May 1st. That's the best record in Major League Baseball. But June has, in the past 4 seasons, not been kind to them. 26 games under 500. So far this month, 10-6, playing good baseball still.
And maintaining that lead in the National League East, a half a game. The Mets have been beaten up on people lately. Won 7 in a row.
6 of those were against the Orioles and the Indians. Tonight they've got the Yankees.
That ball gets away from Jason Kendall, and Hinsky will trot down to second.
Bounced out on the front point of the left-handed batter's box. So a tough one to handle for Kendall.
So a runner out there for Yunel Escobar, who waits on a 3-2 from Brian Bannister. Ball 4. 2 on. And as Melky Cabrera steps to the plate, a look at the NL East.
Braves have had to continue playing good baseball because of the Mets' winning streak. Phillies took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees to stay 3.5 back. The Marlins are the ones that have been slipping a little bit.
And the Nationals have Steven Strasburg on the mound tonight against the Chicago White Sox in what will be a well-attended event in D.C. Some interesting things going on in baseball tonight. You mentioned the Mets and the Yankees in their weekend series, and you also have Manny Ramirez returning to Fenway Park tonight as the Dodgers play the Red Sox.
And the NBA season opens up tonight, I think.
No, they take one day off.
Oh, do they?
And then it opens up. Yeah. Got home last night just in time to catch the last 5 minutes of that game. Lakers winning their second straight title. Bannister has a plate jumping on him right now. 2 balls and no strikes with 2 on. Slapped foul just past third. See the numbers on Melky when he's got runners in scoring position. Eric Hinsky is out there at second. Escobar leads from first.
Right on the corner, I guess. Melky was just 2 for 20 with runners in scoring position, though, in April. Hitting .293 since then. He's got a leadoff double in the first and couldn't get Prado home. Need to try to take advantage of these opportunities.
Into left field, base hit. Hinsky will hold at third, and they're loaded for the pitcher, Derek Lowe.
Hanging curveball that time that was up in the zone. Hinsky got a pretty good break off of second base, but Sednick wasn't very deep when he got to this ball. He doesn't have a very good arm, but he wasn't very deep either, so that made the difference for Brian Snitker, even with Derek Lowe coming to the plate.
Derek is 2 out of 20. It does lead the pitching staff with 5 sacrifices. Takes low, a ball and no strike. Glancing down at third base at Brian Snitker, who ran through his signs. Derek 1 out of 19 in his career with the bases loaded. 1-1.
I was watching him swing in the cage yesterday. The guy who's pitching that night gets to hit, as does the pitcher who's pitching the next night. And Derek was throwing some serious top hand. He was trying to hook some balls to left field.
Come on, Dave.
I think he was trying to employ some of his golf swing, which is a beautiful swing, into his baseball swing.
I think you got a few guys on that team who can play. We saw Chris Medlin before the game tonight put one about 8 feet with his wedge or 9-iron in that pregame contest. They're going to bunt, and Hinsky will score. They put the squeeze on, and Derek Lowe delivered.
When you put the squeeze on, you try to just make sure you bunt it fair, so he bunted it right back to the pitcher. The difficult part about squeezing with the bases loaded is that the pitcher or the fielder can come in and just scoop the ball to the catcher for a force out. You don't have to tag the runner. But that was what was so pretty about that execution, is that Hinsky timed it perfectly, breaking off third, and the Braves get the lead.
And here's Martin Prado in the top of the order now, and runners are at second and third.
Go!
And that ball gets away. Escobar will score. 2-0 Braves.
Two wild pitches in the inning for Brian Bannister. And that one really somehow fooled Kendall. What, he was leaning to the left. He was expecting that ball down and in somehow. and might have gotten crossed up.
So now a runner at third. 2 are in. And Prado takes a strike.
Watch Kendall here on that wild pitch. Watch him lean to his left first, and then try to go back to the right to block it. And he had no shot then.
Fly ball to right. That'll chase Guillen back. And he makes the play. But the Braves break through with a couple in the second. It's 2-0 as we head to the third.
SunTrust, live solid, bank solid. And tonight's topic, the most wins since 2002 among pitchers. Derek Lowe trails only Roy Halladay, followed closely by Roy Oswalt, but Derek Lowe with 129 wins since 2002.
Yuniesky Betancourt. Leads it off here in the top half of the third. Little tapper to chipper and down.
2 fly ball outs in the first, 2 fly ball outs in the second. So nice to see a ground ball out. Get that sinker working. A pretty good hitting pitcher coming up here, Ernie.
He's 1 out of 2. And that one hit, a run scoring double.
Yeah, and he, for his career, 8 for 26.
Take that. Bannister a rough bottom half of the second. Couple of wild pitches. A lot of walk to Escobar. And when the dust had settled, the Braves had a 2-0 lead. Rounded to first. Troy Gloss will toss. Below, 2 down. Never know if you're going to have to make that toss or not with a pitcher running. But he was getting down the line.
Yeah, he's a pretty good athlete. Went to University of Southern California. Was a 7th round pick by the Mets out of USC in 2003.
Now here is Scott Pasetnik. What I like about his story, he was originally the property of the Texas Rangers. Took him 7 years to make it to the major leagues. He's 18 years old when he's in the minors for the first time, and he bounces around a couple of organizations and then finally gets up with Seattle for a few games, and then eventually was #2 in the National League Rookie of the Year balloting.
I think when most people think of Scott Posednik, they think of an athlete. They don't really think of a baseball player, at least in that time you're talking about. He was trying to make himself into a baseball player. Everybody knew he could really fly, could steal a lot of bases. The problem was, how's he going to get on first? And once he figured that out, he became a very valuable property.
He's a track star in high school. In fact, had colleges offering him scholarships as a 200-meter man and a hurdler. He leads this team in stolen bases with 19, so he can still move. And he draws a walk from Derek Lowe. Second walk by the Braves starter. And it comes with 2 outs here in the third.
And again, it's like walking Carl Crawford last night. Hudson did that leading off the 6th inning, but he got some help from Brian McCann, who gunned him down trying to steal. This guy, 19 stolen bases. He's been caught 6 times.
Here's Kendall, who grounded to third his first time. Takes low. 1-0.
3 stolen bases in 10 attempts against Derek Lowe so far on the year.
Throw over and Posednik back. We talked about the years that Jason Kendall had with Pittsburgh back in the mid to late 90s and early 2000s, and a lot of those years of hitting better than 300, but he did have that dislocated right ankle as Posednik takes off and nobody covered.
It's a good throw, too.
So a little mix-up, a little breakdown in communication. Up the middle.
And it might have been Prado. He was the one that kind of had his hand in the air as if to take it.
One and one. Kendall slaps it into left field. Posednik will come home, and that's the first run for the Kansas City Royals. He can motor.
Well, there's a couple of people that have to take responsibility for that run. The first one is Derek Lowe for walking Posednik with 2 outs. And then whoever failed to cover it, of course, gave him no chance to throw him out on the attempted steal.
20th run batted in for Jason Kendall, and it's a 2-1 game. And here's David DeJesus. And nobody has to tell those involved because they're kicking themselves collectively right now.
Yep.
DeJesus takes on the inside corner. No balls and a strike. 2-1 game now. Pretty good June going on there for the Kansas City center fielder.
He's hit in 14 of his last 16.
Fly ball center. Melky had to continue to drift back. Makes the play. Makes a fan happy. And we're going to the bottom of the third. From Hilton Head, South Carolina, will have the chance to win free airfare for two if the Braves hit a home run here in the third. Visit PeachStreetTV.com/contest for official rules and to enter for a chance to win. AirTran Airways, go. There's nothing stopping you. And if you're James from Hilton Head, you're saying, hey, Jason Hayward leading off. You like that, but you're not thrilled with that. Grounder wide at first. Butler to Bannister for the out.
Good play by the pitcher. Second good play by Butler, going to his right. Not a very good toss, but stretched Brian Bannister to the limits here. Had to reach back, make the catch, and step on the bag at the same time. Well done.
That'll test your hand-eye, foot coordination. Here's Chipper with one down.
Boy, come on, Chip.
That's lined foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Brian Bannister, Southern Cal product. Big photography and big photography buff, and then he spent a lot of his bonus on a studio out there where several artists have recorded that kind of thing. Yeah, big into it. Had photo shoots out there.
Well, it's a great family. I played with his dad for 4 years in Seattle. In fact, we were roommates for 4 years out there. Floyd, and he's got 2 brothers who are good baseball players too. Very sports-minded.
Chipper stays alive, 1-2.
His dad was the #1 pick in the draft coming out of Arizona State.
So what year would that have been when you were playing with his dad?
I played with him from like 1979 through 82. I think he was the first pick in the draft in about 76 or 77.
Brian, born in 1981 in Scottsdale, Arizona. Chipper works a walk with 1 down.
Brian was not too happy with this call. He thought he struck Chipper out. Cut that one or turned that ball over to make it tail away from Chipper, and Kendall tried to frame it but didn't get the call.
Brian McCann fouling out to third his first time to end the first.
All right, I've gotten the mystery solved on the glasses, no glasses vision.
All right. I'm all ears.
Okay. Told him, I said, I didn't want to bug you because everybody bugs you about why aren't you wearing your glasses? Why are you wearing your glasses? But I got the answer from him tonight.
Sky high to right. Ian near the line. 2 down.
Part of Brian's ongoing problem has been very dry eyes. He doesn't tear like most people, and he has to use eye drops. And the eye drops he's using right now are really effective. They keep his eyes moist so they don't dry out. He said he's also cut back on his energy drinks, his carbonated sodas, just drinking water, and he said trying to stay hydrated with just water has made a huge difference too.
So it's all about hydration.
It's all about science when it comes down to it.
And that's where you lose me.
Okay.
Troy Gloss.
I can go to you for math, but
he flied out to right his first time.
I have a theory that applies to my golf game, that your bubble has to be right. You know, like the bubble in a level.
Yeah.
To level things up on the table or the wall.
Exactly.
Same thing with a human. Your bubble's got to be right, or you're not going to play good golf. You're not going to play good baseball. So Brian's getting his bubble right.
By keeping his eyes moisturized and staying hydrated.
And drinking a lot of water.
And on that note, we will head to the top half of the fourth with the Braves leading 2-1. This has been the Airtran Airways home run inning of the game. Be sure to register at PeachTreeTV.com/contest for official rules and for your chance to win. And please stay hydrated.
Your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota moving forward. How many father and son duos have played for the Royals? I'm going to assume that means. Okay, I got it. Both the father and the son played for the big league club.
That was Billy Butler taking a big cut at the first pitch from Derek Lowe. 0-1 as we start the fourth. This one's to left center field and deep. Cabrera back to the wall, and this ball is gone. So Billy Butler launches number 7, RBI number 37. And we've got a 2-2 game.
Well, it was a skyrocket sinker that didn't sink. It just flattened out. Pinsky and Cabrera. Watch this one bounce off the top of the concrete wall behind the baseball fence. That thing was hit a mile high.
Jose Guillen takes on the corner for a strike. Fly to left his first time, trying to extend his 12-game hitting streak. Foul down the right side and out of play.
The Royals have 20 come from behind wins this year. That's first in the American League. Like I said, we said at the beginning of the broadcast, they have the best average in all of baseball as a team at 279. But in the American League, they're middle of the pack in runs scored, lower third in homers. They do it by pretty much singling and doubling you to death.
Ian takes downstairs. He was limited last year, only played about half the games, had a right knee ligament tear. The Royals, his 9th team. And he goes down swinging for the first out.
First strikeout for Derek, and he got the ball down. It was good.
Alberto Callaspo, 0 for 1 on the night. Nice pop on that fastball, but outside, 1-0.
Callaspo was their second baseman, but doesn't have a lot of range and has a good arm. They moved him to third when they sent Alex Gordon back to the minor leagues. They want Gordon to go back to Omaha and learn how to play the outfield, where he's responding pretty well. Everybody knows he can hit. He just needs to relax defensively. So they moved Callaspo to third, where he's prospering, and moved Mike Aviles into second base, who's a real good fielder. And they're beginning to tighten up defensively. They're a better ball club.
That Alex Gordon situation, too, you see it in a lot of different sports. Everybody's in such a hurry, Joe, to run somebody up the charts and make them the next this or the next that. And he was supposed to be the next George Brett. That's pretty easy to live up to, huh? And it just hasn't panned out that way as Callaspo singles to center. But you put that kind of pressure on somebody at that point, and that's why you got to be careful. I don't care if you're talking about Jason Hayward. I don't care who it is that you're talking about. Let them be them for a while.
Right.
And then after a few seasons, if you want to start maybe drawing comparisons, but boy, that's a lot to lay on a guy.
Well, he'll be back in the big leagues very soon. He's too good a hitter to languish in Omaha, but it'll be at a different position when he comes back.
This is the second baseman, Mike Aviles. 1 down and a runner on, and the game now tied 2-2 after the solo homer by Billy Butler.
And Aviles is less than a year removed from Tommy John surgery. He's had a remarkably fast recovery. It won't be a year until the end of July.
And obviously, you hear that a lot with pitchers, but rarely with infielders. Runner going. Play a little hit and run. It's fouled off down the right side.
Sometimes you hear about it from a position player who changes position. And I'll give you an example of that. It was Kelly Johnson, moved from shortstop in the minor leagues to left field for the Braves, and wasn't too much longer where he hurt his elbow. We'll have to keep an eye on Alex Gordon for that reason, I guess.
Eric Lowe again throws over, and Callaspo hadn't taken much of a lead. To short. Should be 2. 6-4-3. End of the inning. But Kansas City ties it up with one swing, a towering home run by Billy Butler. It's 2-2.
and that would be Hal McRae and Brian McRae. And beyond that, I'm kind of lost. 3. The McRaes, the Watkins, and of course the Bannisters. I forgot that Floyd had finished up pitching for Kansas City. Knucklehead.
We've only been talking about them for the entire top of the third. It was just a given. Eric Hinsky takes the ball and a strike. He singled in the second. 3 out of 8 now on the homestand. Bannister nowhere near with that one. 2 balls and a strike.
He keeps trying to hit that outside corner. Try to turn the ball over just a little bit with a 2-seamer to run it away from the left-handed hitters, but he's not close enough to get the call or to get the hitter to offer.
He was on that pitch, 3-2. Hinsky singled with 1 out in the second. Later advanced on a wild pitch. And it was a rough inning for Bannister. Had a couple of wild pitches, had a walk mixed in there. The Braves loaded the bases and were able to score twice. The payoff pitch. And Hinsky spoils it and stays alive. That was our first report on Steven Strasburg, that he had 9 strikeouts through 5 innings.
7 through 5.
But was trailing 1-0.
And still trailing 1-0 through 6.
Hinsky is on for the second time tonight, throwing a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 4th.
And that started Cincinnati, where Brian Bannister had his 5-game winning streak snapped. It was mostly he was throwing too many strikes. He gave up 10 hits in 3 innings, walked 2. Of course, the 3 long balls hurt him.
So those numbers, not exactly the strikeout to walk ratio you want. 1-3 in this game for Bannister. But he's pitching in a 2-2 game. Coming into this game, 45 strikeouts, 23 walks. And again, rocked his last time out after winning 5 straight decisions. Escobar to right. Hinsky on his way to third. Makes it with a slide. Runners on the corners with nobody out.
Good base running by Eric. He had to freeze just for a split second to make sure the ball got by Butler. Hard hit by Unell. But Butler can't come up with this one. He's made a couple of good plays on the ground, but now you see Hinsky looking out there. You can see how far Guillen's got to go to get the ball. And Jose Guillen has always had a very good arm. That one ate up Betancourt on the hop. Good hustle by Eric to put him at first and third.
Now Melky Cabrera, number 8 hitter. Kendall kept that in front of him. 1-0. A run scored on a wild pitch earlier in the second inning. Hinsky is 90 feet away from giving the Braves the lead. Cabrera singled his first time. Two balls and no strikes. Cabrera could look for his pitch here, 2-0. Lined into right field, and the Braves have the lead. Hinske scores. Escobar trots into third. And the Braves have runners at second and third and a 3-2 lead.
Well, Escobar trotted into third base because he might have hurt himself. He wasn't running hard at all, and I couldn't figure out why. With a chance to score from first on a double, but he may have strained that abductor muscle that he injured earlier in the year. Another rope down the right field line. And it went all the way to the wall. Watch Escobar's path here. Right around second there, he pulled up. Wasn't until real late in the process there that Brian Snitker actually held him up, but Martinel's going to be okay and stay in the game.
Come on, Dick.
Bobby Cox has squeezed twice in the last week, or anything he did twice in the same game.
I wonder he did it in the ninth inning in Minnesota. Did it in the second inning with this man, Derek Lowe, tonight. Maybe it's all part of the Escobar plan here. Maybe gets him thinking Escobar's hurting over there at third.
All part of the deep.
The 0-1. All on a strike. Braves have something going here in their half of the fourth inning. A walk to Hinske, single by Escobar, double by Cabrera, which scored Hinske. That misses. 2 balls and a strike. Kansas City infield drawn in. We're on the edge of the grass.
It helps out Derek Lowe. If he just puts it in play with a little bit of steam on it, he's got a chance to get it through.
Base hit left. They will hold up Cabrera. And the merry-go-round continues. Runners at first and third.
We'll keep an eye on Escobar to see if he gets some treatment in the dugout as Derek Lowe picks up his second RBI of the night. The fastball had a lot of the plate and it was up. There's some of that top hand.
There you
swing.
go. Saw him working on it yesterday.
Yeah. Paid off. Bob McClure is the pitching coach for the Royals. Junell goes down the tunnel. Bob McClure, left-hander. Ernie had one of the best moves I've ever seen picking off runners. Amazing. And his move to first looked exactly like his move to the plate.
You sound like a victim.
Perhaps I was.
The third multi-RBI game of Derek Lowe's career. He squeezed home 1 run. Line drive single that's made it 4-2 here in the fourth. And here's Martin Prado. Fly ball to left. Cabrera will tag. This is pretty shallow, and Sednick threw a strike.
Martin mad at himself. Maybe a little impatient there. asked Jason about his thumb tonight before the game, and I said, "Is it getting better?" He said, "It'll be real good probably around November 1st."
Come on, James.
Runners are on first and third, and that buzz goes through the ballpark here with the kid at the plate. And 2 on. Grounded foul outside first. Ball and a strike.
Well, he's one of those guys that you get up to go to the concession stand, and then you say, "Oh wait, Hayward's coming up." Find yourself walking on the concourse. Oh wait, stop, Hayward's up.
You know, the Florida Marlins very high on, I guess, kind of their version of Jason Hayward, Mike Stanton, who was homered tonight.
He's broken in with a bang with the Marlins, just as they hoped he would.
And it was a grand slam for Mike Stanton tonight. Jay Hay 0 for 2, struck out, grounded to first. Bats here with a chance to do some damage as the Braves have broken the tie and lead 4-2. That was tantalizing at 68 miles an hour, but out of the strike zone.
That was his curveball, and he's fortunate that it went as high as it did. Otherwise, it would have been just spinning up there for Jason. See what he does here with a full count.
He struck him out for the second time tonight.
There's only 2 strikeouts, and they've both been Hayward. And that was above the hands at just 87 miles an hour, but enough. I still believe that Jason's too far from the plate. I really do. He moved up a little bit, according to Terry Pendleton a few days ago, but still seems he is really still reaching for the ball.
Well, the Braves have scored 2, but it's a golden opportunity for more. It's up to Chipper now. Try to plate another one. Hit sharply into right. There you go.
Another sharply hit ball by Chipper, too. He said he had figured out something left-handed, and he went up and got that pitch that Hayward couldn't. He got on top of it, threw some top hand to get up and level off on it a little bit, didn't uppercut it, and smoked it.
24th RBI for Chipper. And the Braves are on top 5-2. Ryan McCann. That ball is foul. Down the line at first.
Ryan swung at the first pitch all 3 times tonight. And he's hitting .636 on the first pitch. That might be a good reason why.
McCann waits on an 0-1. Hit it right on the head, but straight at David DeJesus. The Braves scored 3 times in their half of the 4th. Melky Cabrera gets in on the act. Derek Lowe helps his own cause. And Chipper with RBI number 20.
Satisfaction nationwide for 6 straight years. Experience all the comfort and amenities you expect at an unexpectedly low price. Jamieson Inns, live large, pay less.
Braves have the lead back. They're up by 3 as we go to the 5th inning, and fans, you're cordially invited to the 2010 Braves Diamond Gala Sunday, June 27th at the Lowe's Hotel, benefiting the Braves Foundation. The Diamond Gala is a star-studded night of casino games, entertainment, silent, and live auctions, alongside Braves players, coaches, and alumni. For tickets or more information, visit Braves.com/gala. It's 70s night here at the ballpark. I'm still looking for somebody in some disco outfits.
I mean, yours isn't enough?
I tried. Couldn't find my platform shoes tonight. It kind of bothered me.
I like the white belt, though. That's very strong. Top half of the 5th. See, Chris Getz has a bat in the on-deck circle, so he will pinch hit for Brian Bannister, whose night is over after 4 innings.
It's really not a belt. I just wore that midriff shirt in the 70s. That's...
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. I really wasn't looking that closely. Betancourt was fooled. 1-2.
Talk about Ned Yost trying to change the way the Royals thought of themselves in the clubhouse, and
hit to short. Escobar.
The way they play and feel about each other, and of course he comes from a long line of coaches under Bobby Cox who were tutored by him, and when you play for the Braves, you don't think anybody's better than you, and you do carry yourself with a certain air of not cockiness, but certainly confidence that you expect to win every night.
With a swagger.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, how much do you think, after 12 years working with Bobby, and they really redefine the term, the Mutual Admiration Society, but neither can say enough good things about the other. So how much of Bobby rubs off in the managerial style of Ned Yost?
I think a lot. I think not only Ned, but I would say it certainly did for Jimmy Williams when he was one of his coaches in Toronto. I think Jimmy may have had his own style like Ned, like Freddie Gonzalez. I think Don Baylor was already a pretty good manager when he came to the Braves as a hitting coach, but he managed again after that. And a lot of those things that each of those people learned from Bobby, there's something they take with them wherever they go. And I would say if there's nothing else you take from working for Bobby, it's his patience. And this year, maybe the best example of his whole career of Bobby's great patience, given the way the team played in April and how bleak things looked at a time for a time, and how positive he still was.
Chris Getz, the pinch hitter, he can fly, but Escobar got him by a step.
Braves were 9-14 in April. They've been 30-14 since. But it was his patience letting this team come together, figuring out where the pieces fit, moving Prado to the leadoff spot, putting Hinske in the lineup, things like that, that if you don't learn from those types of managers, you have knee-jerk reactions, panic button pushing, and all those things that aren't helpful to your ball club.
The top of the Kansas City order now, Scott Posednik. And also, it's the support, it's the way Bobby treats his players, it's the way he stands up for them all the time, and that's one of the things that Ned Yost has referred to when he looks back at 12 years of coaching for him, observing and watching his style.
That's right, and we're told that one of the first things he did was let the players know that if they mess up or if they got something going on, he's going to go to the coaches to find out what. The coaches are going to coach.
Popped out of play over the Kansas City dugout.
That's the way Bobby manages. Bobby's not a control freak. You know, he puts good people in place, delegates authority to his coaches, and then lets them go to work and do their job. Now, if that player is not responding, or if all of a sudden you go to phase 2 then Mr. Cox gets involved, and as a player, you don't want that to happen.
A ball and 2 strikes. And I think the bottom line also on this regime now in Kansas City under Ned Yost, he said player development doesn't stop just because you've made it to the major leagues. He says a lot of times the player development is, teams think it's all in the minor league chain and getting somebody up to this point and then it stops. And he said, no, this is where it has to continue. You can't just get here and say, okay, I've made it, that's it. So it's been a fresh approach here, and it's paid off so far with a record of 17 and 15. And Pasednik looks at strike 3 from Derek Lowe.
There's a follow-up to that. We'll get to it next inning.
And we're coming back right after this. Kansas City Royals have made a pitching change. We'll get to that in just a second. Here's the latest on Steven Strasburg, who went 7 innings tonight, allowing 4 hits, 1 earned run. He will get a no decision on this one. He's out of the game there in the top of the 8th, tied up 1-1 with the White Sox. 10 strikeouts.
And no walks again. Amazing. And they had another crowd of 40,000 tonight in Washington, D.C. Great for them. Braves expect to see him here in 10 days at Turner Field.
He is a phenomenon.
Kaneko Teixeira, no relation to Mark. It's in his 22nd game. A lot of walks. So make him throw a strike. Get something good to hit.
Spells his last name the same way Mark Teixeira does, and he's known as Tex as Mark is, but there is no relation.
Back to what you were talking about, how player development doesn't stop at the major league level. I think that it holds true with any club, but especially for a team like Kansas City, where you have to be patient to try to let your player development process work and get guys to the big leagues that you've taught, that you've drafted, signed, and taught. But in some cases, there's going to be that player or two who got rushed to the big leagues a little bit too, that they needed up at this level, that you might not have happen on a more successful club. So that definitely is a case where you got to keep teaching and working with players to get better for teams like Kansas City, with all due respect to them.
Troy Gloss leading off against Teixeira. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And it looks like that patience is close to being paid off with all those all-stars you talked about at AA. They've got a good core of pitchers at AAA as well. They're very close to really making a bid to be extremely competitive in the American League Central. again.
The loss just did stay alive. Down 2-2. Ned now living in LaGrange. A recent move. A lot of things happening in his life back in the month of May. A move and a new managerial job, taking over for Trey Hillman in Kansas City. Loss waits on a 2-2.
Right on it, okay.
See where Kansas City stands in the AL Central with a record of 29-38, 9.5 back. How about the Minnesota Twins, who, before the season began, when they lost Joe Nathan, their closer, and everybody said, well, they will write them out of that script in the Central.
Yeah, but they just keep adding people, bringing people up from the minor leagues, and keep right on trucking, although they're getting run over by a truck tonight. Philadelphia went home and probably hit a ton of homers already and lead Minnesota 9-1 in the sixth.
Grounded toward short. Bettencourt across for the first out.
3 homers hit by the Phillies tonight as they begin to get untracked after a bad month's worth of baseball.
Tell you what, the Braves, bottom half of the order, has done some damage tonight, 6 through 9. Eric Hinski's been on twice and scored twice. Same with Yunel Escobar. Melky Cabrera has knocked in a run and scored a run, and Derek Lowe squeezed home a run and came through with an RBI single. Here's Hinski.
Numbers 8 and 9. Cabrera and Lowe, 3 for 3 with runners in scoring position, 3 RBIs. Not too bad from the bottom of the order from a production standpoint either.
Good.
That doesn't, 3 for 3 doesn't even include the successful squeeze by Lowe.
The 2-1.
Boy.
Now back 2 balls and 2 strikes. The man on the mound, Teixeira, picked up his first win the other night against the Houston Astros. And Ned Yost made a point of getting the lineup card and presenting it to him after the game. And then the plan was to get some of the Astros to sign it. I don't know if that actually happened, that part, or I don't know if you're a Houston Astro, if you're going to want to take part in that, as Hinski launches one to straightaway center field, which DeJesus wraps up for the second out. But then the plan was to send it back to Hawaii, where he's from. He's a native of Maui, and his dad would frame it there. So a memento from his first major league victory.
I'm going to venture a guess that if you send it over to the Astros to sign it, either A, you're not going to get written on there what you expected, or number 2, it's not going to come back in one piece.
Frame this.
Boy. On his gate.
There's Yunel Escobar now, and I don't know exactly what happened when he was running the bases the last time, but went back out in the last inning and fielded a couple of balls flawlessly and stayed in the game. Certainly pulled up between second and third before eventually scoring the Braves' 4th run in the 4th.
If you've got a bad leg, chances are you're probably not going to try to drop a bunt down and beat it out. So I'm going to surmise that his leg is just fine.
Royals pitchers have not had a 1-2-3 inning of the 4 innings that Bannister worked. Now Teixeira on. Nice play at third by Tyaspo. And a throw right on the money. 3 up, 3 down. That's a great play. And quickly to his feet to make the play. Friday evening, 5-2. Braves lead the Royals. This inning's pitching speed is brought to you by the new Panasonic Viera Full HD 3D TV. With 3D this lifelike, can we still call it a TV?
We're still trying to figure it out.
Is that a rhetorical question?
If we had one here, we'd be able to tell right away.
Jason Kendall leads things off in the top half of the sixth. We began the night talking about the solid starting pitching. Hanson, Hudson, and now Derek Lowe's turn, and here he is in the sixth inning and leading 5-2.
Yeah, you can certainly forgive the home run. That's going to happen. Made a mistake to Butler, and nothing to be ashamed of there to give up a home run to Billy Butler, certainly. But the other run, a two-out walk to their fastest runner, that led to a run. Jason Kendall, one of those rare guys, doesn't use batting gloves. Brooks Conrad for the Braves doesn't, and Chipper Jones refers to him as Raw Dog because of it. Good pitch.
One down in the sixth. Back-to-back strikeouts for Derek Lowe.
Good series in New York. They're going to have a home and home on that interleague action between those two teams.
See, Ike Davis 1 for 3. Like his stroke. Boy, that is smooth. Boston leading the Dodgers 8-3 in Manny's return to Fenway. We saw the numbers for Adrian Beltre in that game. We'll let you know what Manny's done so far. Manny 0 for 2 on the evening. What kind of reception he got there?
I don't know, but there were several fans in Boston just screaming Bartlett at him.
If you were with us last night, you're all over that line. That was just Hal Galima letting us know, making sure we were on top of the situation.
And he's very good at it.
That's over. 2-2. The Jesus has flied to right and flied to center. Came into the game hitting .324. Good for a top 10 spot in the American League.
This guy's a pretty good outfielder. Plays a solid center field. He's a .286 career hitter. Having a very good year this year, and he's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. And he'll have a bruise. He is a guy that you would expect a lot of teams to covet come trade deadline time. Likewise, Jose Guillen. Right on the side or back of the knee, too. That had to hurt. So we'll see if the Royals are in a trading mode when the trade deadline comes. They're going to have some people available, you would think.
Now here's Billy Butler, who's already homered tonight. Rounds to third. There's one. And he beats the rap at first. He has hit into more double plays than anybody in baseball. That was not a double play ball, but they nearly turned it.
Chipper called off Escobar because Chipper's momentum was taking him towards second base. He had something on the throw, but Escobar trying to avoid De Jesus, who was all over him because of the slow hopping ground ball. Couldn't get much on that toss.
Now here's Jose Guillen. Royals leader in home runs with 13. Knocked in 41 runs. That's hit hard to left. Hinsky on and makes the play. And the Royals are retired in the top of the 6th. It's 5-2.
We'll have it for you on Sports South. Chip Carey and I will have that one. Likewise on Sunday on Fox Sports South. That's a 1:35 first pitch. Both games against the Royals, and an off day on Monday. Back with you on Peachtree TV. Road trip for Peachtree TV Monday and Tuesday in Chicago. Oh, excuse me, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Looking forward to our time in Chicago for those two. Teixeira still on his second inning of work in relief of Brian Bannister. Cabrera, Lowe, and Prado in the Atlanta half of the 6th. Up the middle, base hit. How about Melky? 3 out of 3.
He's like Escobar, heating up after a slow April. Especially left-handed. Shoots this one right over the mound.
Now here's Derek Lowe, who has really helped himself at the plate tonight. Couldn't get the sacrifice down there, but squeezed home a run in the second.
Yeah, and I don't want to put the jinx on him, but he can bunt. He's a good bunt.
Yeah.
Tonight, that squeeze here in the second inning was his 6th of the year, some sacrifice of the year, so he can get it down.
Bidding for number 7 in that department right here. Callasco is 2 feet away from him as he fouls that one away.
It's all my fault. Bragged on him. I mean, after that line shot we just showed you to left field to drive in another one, maybe his mind's just not on bunting anymore.
Yeah, it's all that top hand.
Yeah.
Callasco again creeps in as Lowe squares and takes a ball and 2 strikes. And that is strike 3. It is your fault.
Yeah.
1 down.
Yep. Don't worry about it, Derek. That's my fault.
Here's Martin Prado. I mentioned earlier that he was a featured guest on Cal Ripken's show on XM Radio on Home Plate today, and they asked him about hitting leadoff, and he said it was still something he's trying to get the hang of. Doesn't exactly understand why he sees a pitch he really wants to hit, but takes it because, well, I guess I'm a leadoff hitter, I should take that. And then they pointed out, well, you know, when you're only hitting on the first pitch 462, and when you do take a pitch, when it's 1-0, you're hitting 545. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. And don't think about it.
Right, left, right.
He's good at doing that too. Waiting a long time and just kind of taking the pitch right out of the catcher's glove. Getting close to keeping that one fair.
He's 1 out of 3 tonight. Doubled in the first, but did not score. Then flied to right, flied to left. That's Cabrera with the lead at first. And Teixeira checks him.
Good count to
Left,
hit and
right.
run.
Keep it going.
Again, Teixeira going over to Billy Butler at first. We're playing in the bottom of the 6th. The Braves lead at 5-2. 1 on, 1 out. Leadoff hitter Martin Prado at the plate and Jason Hayward on deck. Look at that piece of hitting in the right.
He reminds me of a guy that has like 10 years in the big leagues and not 3, because he's so good and really so gifted at just hitting the ball where he wants to and taking advantage of opportunities like that one with first base being occupied and runner being held, big hole for him.
And Joe, as a former player, you know, on TV it looks easy. Hit it, hit it where they ain't. But that is an art.
It's not easy, and it's not easy to do that and hit it hard enough to get it through that spot that you'd like to do it to.
Okay.
Runners at first and second for Jason Hayward. 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts.
Boy.
Now, where would you like to see him at the plate? How much closer?
About a half a foot, about a half of his shoe length closer. They continue to pitch him right there. They continue to work him away, because the first thing the catcher sees, or the scouting report sees, is, man, he's way off the plate. Pitch him away, and then if he wants to pull the ball, we'll field ground balls at first and second all night long. What has been missing, and you can attribute so much of it to his sore thumb, his top hand, is his ability to hit those rocket shots to left field that we saw so often in the beginning of the season. Just hasn't done that as much.
Boy, that was a nice play by Kendall. 3 balls and a strike.
He's had to handle some tough bounces tonight. He's able to block that one.
The crowd just upped the volume, and Hayward was right on that pitch, 3-2.
You make a mistake, middle of the plate in, like that one, you're lucky to get away with it. He doesn't miss that pitch too often.
Payoff pitch due to the Braves rookie.
Boy.
Tried to go hard away again and up. Remember, he struck out on a high pitch from Bannister his last time up, but they force him to reach for that pitch even on a 3-2 count.
Come on, kid.
The 3-2. Fouled back again. $11 home runs and 44 runs batted in to go with his .266 average coming into this game.
Boy.
He's making Teixeira work.
His splits this year for direction of his hits: 14 hits to left, 12 to center, and 30 to right field. Now he's going to have a predominant number to right field, even if he's, no matter where he's standing, because that's his natural swing. But those 14 to left field, I'm going to venture a guess, 3/4 of them came in the first 3 weeks of the season, and not since the thumb started bothering him.
Chipper Jones waits on deck. Hayward bats with 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. And now they're loaded.
Good at bat. That's Dusty Hughes, a left-hander, loosening up for the Royals.
It was 2001. Last time Chipper Jones had a grand slam. He bats with the bases loaded here in the 6th. Already knocked in a run tonight. Part of that 3-run Atlanta 4th that broke a 2-2 tie. The 1-0.
Rip.
Sinker there from Teixeira. Only the 4th time all year that Chipper's batted with the bases loaded, and only the 3rd time with less than 2 outs. He's 1 for 2 with less than 2 outs and 1 for 3 overall. Teixeira, if Chipper was paying attention, and he's always paying attention to the way they were working Hayward, trying to get him to roll over on top of something, maybe hit into a double play, trying to throw the sinker that Chipper fouled off. Chipper's the kind of hitter that will take that pitch middle of the plate away and drive it into left center, left-handed.
Yeah. 3 balls and 1 strike. So what you going to do now, Tex?
Yeah, it's a little different now, 3-1, when you got to find more of the plate than just the outside corner.
Chipper skies it to left, but Sednick is back. That'll score a run, and the lead is 6-2. Ned Yost makes his way to the mound. And that's all for Teixeira. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. Half of the sixth inning, a run is in to up the lead to 6-2, and Dusty Hughes has been called on out of the Kansas City bullpen.
He's been in 27 games, and among American League rookie pitchers, that's tied, or second in the American League, tied for third in the majors in appearances. He got a September call-up last year, was in 8 games, made one start. Also pitched in the AAA All-Star game last year. He's born in Tupelo, Mississippi, lives in Horn Lake, Mississippi.
And the left-hander will face Brian McCann. For the runners at the corners and 2 out. Chipper Jones has that RBI total up to 25 now. Knocked in 2 runs tonight.
Boy.
McCann looking for his first hit of the night. Popped up and flied out twice.
Come back.
Hughes, the third Kansas City pitcher. Trying to hold the Braves right here at 6-2. Swinging strike to McCann.
Pretty good slider there. 92 fastball, 87 slider. He'll be 28 years old, the 29th of this month. 5'10", 185 pounds.
And he threw it past the Atlanta catcher, but the Braves add to their total in the 6th. One more run. Top half of the 7th inning at Turner Field. Braves leading 6-2, trying to make it 3 straight wins. They've won 11 out of their last 12 at home. Had that 9-game home winning streak snapped in Game 1 of the Tampa Bay series, but won the next 2. Derek Lowe starts the 7th against Alberto Callaspo. He's 1 out of 2. Was erased in a double play his last time in the 4th. The Royals leading baseball with a .279 average, but managing only 3 hits tonight.
This guy's always hit, Callaspo. Minor leagues, into the major leagues. He's always been able to put the ball in play. He has not had a good month of June. His average is paid for a bad month, but he's trying to make amends tonight.
Takes that one right back up the middle, and leadoff single in the 7th for Kansas City. He's 2 out of 3. Mike Aviles, who is 0 for 2. Grounded to Low and grounded into a double play, 6-4-3.
Callaspo, by the way.
Callaspo
at first base. Yet another guy whose hometown is the same as Martin Prado's, and that's Maracay in Venezuela. I think there's like 8 or 9 of them in the big leagues.
Another base hit right up the middle. That more sharply hit than the previous. So down 4. The Royals put the first 2 hitters on board.
That'll get the Braves bullpen going here in the 7th. That pitch was up. He's at the 83 pitch mark. Not too high at all, but a humid night. Derek mad at himself as you can see him kick the dirt there. Eric O'Flaherty will begin to loosen up. The Royals are first in the American League hitting with runners in scoring position.
Fly ball right center field. Hayward gives chase. Calls and makes the play. 1 down. Callaspo will tag and move to 3rd.
And that would stand to reason. If they're hitting for a high average, you'd figure they'd be getting a few of those singles with guys on base and in scoring position. .281 their average with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Ned Yost had said that has pleased him. Some solid 2-out hitting from his team. Roger McDowell out there to meet with Derek Lowe.
There's a familiar face. About to pinch hit. Wilson Betterman.
There are a few Royals with Atlanta ties. Betterman one of them, and Bruce Chen, who's had a solid year, the left-hander. And there's a kid in the bullpen for Kansas City named Blake Wood. Played his high school ball at North Gwinnett High School in Swanee. And he's a rookie. He's pitched the last 2 games. It would be unlikely that we'd see him tonight. Ned does not like to use him 3 nights in a row. Has to shut him down for a few. But they're high on him. So there's been a pretty good demand on the Royal side for tickets. Ned, in fact, had like 61.
Yikes.
And Blake Wood another 12 to 15 for the series. 1-0 to Betterman. Grounded into right field, base hit. And that scores Callaspo. It is 6-3.
Wilson Betterman's been around the horn a little bit since he left Atlanta. Went to the Dodgers for Danny Baez and Willie Ibar. The Yankees got it for Scott Proctor. And the last couple of years he's been in the Chicago White Sox organization, but he comes through here in a pinch.
And Derek Lowe goes a pretty solid 6 1/3 tonight. The Royals touch him up a little bit here in the 7th with 3 singles and a run at this point. And he leads to a standing ovation. His call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible.
Like Chris Medlin over there next to Derek. Had him take it off high and tight. Little summer cut there for Chris. He gets ready for his start tomorrow.
And Derek Lowe toweling off after 6 1/3 innings of work on a humid night in Atlanta. 2 runners on base belong to him. And it's up to Eric O'Flaherty to try to keep him there.
O'Flaherty's done a good job in this situation. 14 inherited runners, only 3 have scored. And he's had 6 days off.
Scott Posednik hits the first pitch he sees on a line to center. Nice play, Cabrera.
Good break on it, too. Posednik swung at the first pitch and hit it off the handle a little bit. But Melky, with a good crossover step, got a good jump on it. That's a big out.
So now here's Jason Kendall with runners at first and second. Kansas City cutting into the Atlanta lead with 1 here in the 7th. It is 6-3. But he represents the tying run. Kendall hitting .375 against left-handed pitching. O'Flaherty to the plate. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and he's a strike away from putting out this rally by Kansas City. He struck him out.
What a sequence that was.
A line out to center and a 3-pitch strikeout. Job well done.
info, and tonight it comes from Bill, who wants to know, I would like to know the status of Matt Diaz, Jair Jurgens, and Nate McLeod. Well, here's what I know, Bill. We'll start with Matt Diaz. He does not have any kind of cast on his thumb after his surgery, and he's just waiting for the doctors to give him the okay to start doing baseball-related activities, to swing the bat, so he's coming along nicely. And for Jair Jurgens, he's scheduled to make his second rehab appearance tomorrow for Gwinnett. And Nate McLeod, saw him tonight in the clubhouse. And Nate, he agreed it was a good thing that they put him on the disabled list. He's still battling a few headaches, and not to be totally unexpected after that collision with Jason Hayward. But as we get closer to him his time being up on the disabled list, I'm sure he'll be doing just fine. We'll wait and see.
You're not a doctor, but you play one on TV.
Well, thank you very much.
Effectively. It was very efficient.
You have my pager number.
Are you on call this weekend?
I am not. Especially on Monday, the off day.
Victor Marte, the new pitcher for the Kansas City Royals.
Just his 10th game since being activated. He's already given up 3 homers in his 9 appearances over 14 innings. Their bullpen, though, is really good and has been good. In that Houston series just completed, they only gave up 1 run in 12 1/3 innings.
Nice pitch. 1-2. Troy Gloss waiting.
Boy, not take.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Troy over 3 tonight. On a night when it's the lower part of the Braves batting order that has done the majority of the damage at 6-3. Strike 3 called to Gloss. Every run scored by the Braves tonight has come from the 6, 7, 8 spot.
Yeah, the bottom part of the order has done it. And I think it looked like a good pitch. Troy may be aggravated that he didn't pull the trigger, but it looked like a decent pitch to hit.
Here's Eric Hinsky, who scored twice tonight. Single and a walk. 93 under the bill of the cap.
Pinch.
Out in front. 1-1. Eric got it started in the 2nd inning with a 1-out single. Later scored the Braves' first run. They scored 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th.
Pinch.
One home run in this game came from Billy Butler back in the 4th inning. Towering solo shot that just did clear the wall. Hinsky bats with 1 down here in the bottom half of the 7th.
Ball.
Reaches out, pokes it to center. David DeJesus makes the play. DeJesus' streak of errorless games stands at 218.
This guy Marte, we're going to have to do a little more homework on him, Ernie. I mean, he signed with the Royals out of the Dominican Republic, and he spent a couple of years in their Dominican team, rookie league team, and then he was on the disqualified list for 4 years. and actually a little longer than that because he went to Japan and pitched. And pitched over there for 3 years before being activated. There's a little something there we don't know.
And now you don't know the rest of the story.
Woman, Steve Carell.
I love her.
Dan in Real Life. Sunday at 7 on Peachtree TV.
A familiar defensive change for the Braves this week as Gregor Blanco goes to center field and Melky Cabrera goes from center to left. The night over for Eric Hinsky as we move to the top half of the 8th inning. Eric O'Flaherty will face David DeJesus, who was hit by a pitch his last time. First pitch out of the strike zone for O'Flaherty since he came on the scene last inning. Threw 4 pitches and got 2 outs with 2 on.
DeJesus hits .351 against right-handers, but only .237 against left. So there's a little bit of a drop-off there for him.
Slapped down the line.
Sure there is.
And in the left. As if on cue, he will stretch that into a double. Melky Cabrera hustled that in. DeJesus leads off the 8th, legging out a double.
They had 6 hits prior to that, 5 singles and the home run by Butler. Now they've got a double. And they keep chipping away, and as I said earlier, more come from behind victories this year than anybody in the American League. Got to be careful here.
Bobby Cox will once again make a move. As Peter Moylan makes his entrance, and we'll be back after this. top half of the eighth after a leadoff double by David DeJesus.
35th appearance for him. He worked a couple of days ago against the Tampa Bay Rays, 2/3 of an inning, a walk and 2 strikeouts. And he's going to inherit a runner. He's inherited 18. 8 of them have scored.
And he will face Billy Butler, who homered earlier tonight, his 7th. Came with nobody on to lead off the 4th inning. Just a 3-run lead, 6-3. As we play in the top of the 8th. There you see DeJesus with his lead at second. And Moylan to Butler. Off the corner, 0-1. Butler, the Kansas City cleanup hitter. Jose Guillen, their leader in home runs and RBIs, is on deck.
They only have one player in double digits in homers, and that's Guillen. But then the Braves only have 2, and that's Hayward and Gloss.
Ran it inside. Missed again, 2-1. Peter Moylan, the 3rd Atlanta pitcher. Derek Lowe started, went 6 1/3. Eric O'Flaherty came on in the 7th, put out a fire. And after a leadoff double, it's Moylan on in relief. 3 balls and a strike. His ERA in April and May, each of those months under 3, 2.7 and 2.92, has ballooned in June to 6.75. To second. Prado throws him out. DeJesus to third with 1 down.
Jose Guillen has always been a threat at the plate. Good hitter. He's got a good arm in the outfield. You said he's been with 9 different teams. There's reasons for that. I mean, he has kind of a shelf life on various teams. Had a rant with Trey Hillman as his manager and really kind of got away with it. You know, I mean, the manager really didn't condemn him or sit him or anything else. And if that happens with Ned Yost, it'll be a different story.
The 0-1 blooped into center. That'll score a run. And it's 6-4. There's some fight in this ball club.
Slider that he was looking for. He was hanging all out over the outside part of the plate and didn't get much of it, just enough to drive in the run. And suddenly the tying run at the plate.
Team high 42 runs batted in now for Guillen. And here's Callaspo. Singled and scored his last time. This could be 2. Escobar takes it himself. End of inning. Some fancy footwork by Unell on that. And the Braves lead remains 2 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Our next game pitching matchup. And how about this? Last year's Cy Young Award winner in the American League, Zach Greinke, while he's got an ugly record, he's still got a good ERA, and he's a tough customer against Chris Medlin, who has pitched lights out since he's been moved into the starting rotation. New haircut and all. Chris Medlin will be out there tomorrow.
Streamlined.
Good call on that.
Melky Cabrera, 3 out of 3 tonight. Scored a couple of runs.
Oh, no.
I did some investigative reporting.
I want to hear what you found out about Mr. Marte.
What anyone knows that knows anything about it with the Royals is that there was an identity problem.
Broken bat right at second. Avila's nice play, one down.
Another hard hit ball by Melky. So one would have to read into the fact that maybe when he signed with the Royals out of the Dominican, he claimed to be someone he wasn't, or his age was different than what he thought or what he said. So that's why he was, it is assumed that's why he was on the disqualified list for an identity problem. That's all I can tell you.
Not an identity crisis.
No.
But an identity problem.
No. And I think you've got to be at a different pay level, or perhaps CIA type level, to find out the real scoop.
Well, good work there, Scoop.
Thanks, buddy. I feel good about it.
Colima in the background, not allowing the Bartlett line of humor to go quietly.
Come on, no.
Hey, Omar Infante is back in there. He's been bothered to hit that ball off of his foot. Back in there tonight, the pinch hitting him.
Yeah, and Bill didn't ask about him on the Home Depot question of the night, but as you can see, a fancy shin guard for him to protect the top of his foot.
The man of intrigue has a 1-1 count against Omar Infante. The most interesting man in the world.
He hit that ball off his foot a week ago tonight in Minneapolis.
And you know, from your days, there are some of those you can walk off, and some that'll just put you on the shelf.
Oh, it's amazing his foot wasn't broken. I mean, it was so swollen and badly bruised. Limp. He's been limping for 4 or 5 days.
Infante waits on a 1-2 with missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you're just joining us here on Peachtree TV, just past 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Braves with 2 in the second, 3 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth. Currently lead the Kansas City Royals 6-4. We've been trying to pick away. Infante goes down swinging here in the bottom of the 8th.
Come on, Brad.
It'll take Omar a couple more at bats to feel comfortable again in the box and not be thinking about his foot. As you saw Billy Wagner beginning to get ready for the night.
Another multi-hit night for Martin Prado. 2 out of 4.
Tonight is number 32 on the multi-hit list. For Martin, I mean, a ton of hits as he closes in on 100 hits already. But since June 30th of last year, he's sitting on 199 hits. 14 homers, 70 RBIs.
Good rep, hit.
I was checking out one of his bats tonight just to see how it felt, and it is a great feeling bat. Real balanced, fairly thin handle bat. I would call it a medium barrel, but just wonderful balance in it. I'll have to ask him about the weight. Felt like about a 32, maybe 31 ounce. I'm guessing 32 though.
And he knows how to use it. How did you used to select a bat? What was good for you?
I didn't like real skinny handle bats, but it had to have good balance on the field, because then I wasn't going to hit any homers, so I didn't need a huge barrel. I just needed something that I could try and handle the best, and how it felt in my hands was a medium handle and a medium barrel that wasn't overweighted on the end. Plus, I needed real good wood just above my hands. I needed a real good grain right in there.
Exactly.
Always loved finding a bat that had a good knot just an inch above my hands.
2-2 with 2 out to the Braves leadoff hitter. Skied to right center field. DeJesus wants it and has it. And it's a 1-2-3-8. We're going to the 9th. Billy Wagner to hold 'em Braves. That's a must see, without question. A lot of the crew working this game will be making their way to New York tomorrow morning. Catch that one on Sunday.
Yeah.
1 o'clock.
Camera operator, first camera operator, Hal Kicklighter got a little extra cash in his pocket after the Lakers won last night. So.
Oh, interesting. How did that work?
Watch out, New York.
Billy Wagner's on here in the 9th. He throws a strike to Micah Vilas. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up. Quickly ahead, 0-2. Wags has been hot.
Looking for his 13th save and career number 398. Got the save last night against Tampa Bay, but while he didn't get in the game 2 nights ago, remember he was up and ready to come in if needed. Got hot, so this is like working the 3rd day in a row for him.
He just fought that off. He's gone 13 games, 12 and a third without allowing a run. Trying to nail down a 6-4 win for the Braves. Whoa, all the way to the backstop.
Just a little hot and humid slippage. And let Aviles know that can happen.
Be loose, kid. I don't know where this one's going.
Yes, he did.
Struck him out. One down. Nasty.
Aviles was trying to gear up for the fastball. Wasn't expecting the slider in on his knuckles. Couldn't stop.
Now Unieski Betancourt.
98.
Just missed inside. 1,132 career strikeouts in 860 and a third innings for Billy Wagner.
I always think of that great line in the movie The Rookie when Dennis Quaid was pitching and his son said, "Bring the heat, Dad."
Exactly. He's bringing that 98 mile an hour stuff at the age of 38. He's ahead 1-2. Players on both teams on the top step of the dugout. Watching it unfold here in the ninth.
Got Aviles with a slider to tied him up. See if he tries the same thing here with Betancourt. He did, and he fought it off.
Reminder to stay tuned after the game for the AT&T game summary. AT&T, rethink possible. Betancourt taking his time getting back in the box. Behind in the count 1-2 to Billy Wagner. That's the same pitch that Aviles went down swinging at.
And that's the one he likes to make, and that's throwing it where it breaks right down in on the back foot of the right-handed hitter. Can't swing, you can't get out of the way.
Good at bat by Betancourt.
And it's very obvious Betancourt from the first pitch on is just trying to ping one somewhere and get on base and bring the potential tying run to the plate, which right now would be former Brave Brian Pena in the on-deck circle.
He struck him out, 2 down.
98. Went upstairs and got him.
Last chance for the Royals. Ryan Pena, pinch hitting.
Brian, the childhood friend of Yunel Escobar, growing up together in Havana. And it was Brian who told the Braves about Yunel.
Two balls and no strikes. Scott Posednik in the top of the Kansas City order on deck. Hoping that Pena gives him a chance. 3-0. Right down the middle at 97. It's 3-1. Nobody on, 2 out. Wagner working quickly. And the count is full, 3-2. And now they stand.
Fans love this guy already. They love the fact, they love to watch him air it out.
Aired it out high. And the Royals have a base runner in the 9th.
They do have some guys that have faced Billy before. And Posednik's one of them. 0 for 6 in his career.
Ross will play behind the runner at first. Posednik takes 1-0. He represents the tying run in a 6-4 game. Easy now. 2-0.
He's not allowed a home run to a left-handed hitter since James Loney of the Dodgers back in 2007. Over 3 years ago. Posednik had a big home run to beat Houston a couple of nights ago.
Over for a strike. Posednik has reached once tonight, a 3rd inning walk, and he scored one of the Royals' runs. Again, a strike away.
And you can see Posednik, I mean, he's not a guy who tries to hit home runs. He's trying to use his speed by putting the ball in play. And even at 98 miles an hour, he was so far out on his front foot, just trying to get the bat started, try to catch up to it. Very vulnerable to a breaking ball if he wants to throw one.
The 2-2 to short. Escobar. It's over. Billy Wagner comes on again. Shuts the door on the Kansas City Royals. And Derek Lowe earns win number 9. His 150th career win. That is 12 out of 13 at home for the Braves.
Yeah, and the bottom of the order doing the damage tonight. Everybody's chipping in and doing their part. And tonight, from Hinske on down, all the runs scored from numbers 6, 7, 8, and 9 doing the damage.